1 2 1 2 1 1 mic check 1 2 mic check 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Okay, let this ride for a minute. Give us a few minutes. Let everybody pull up, have a seat, pull up a chair. Get nice and comfortable on a Sunday afternoon. 12:08 p.m. Yeah. I like this one. This is kind of smooth here. How's everybody out there doing? Happy Sunday, everybody. It's your host, Ace World, coming to you live, 12:09 p.m. on a Sunday. Happy Sunday, y'all. Pulling up early for this special edition of Sunday Noon Smoke Podcast. Let's see. Hope everything is going good for you and yours today. Let me get these levels better. Let me get these 1 2 1 2. Let's get these levels better. Is that a little better? 1 2 1 2. Yeah, that's a little better. Okay. I hope all is well with you and yours. Thanks for tuning in to another exciting episode of Sunday Noon Smoke Podcast. The phone lines are open as usual, 515-602-9602. The chat room is open. Comment section, chat room is open. I'll give a few seconds to let a few people pull up in here. I'm going to see who's in the house today. I know it's a little early. I know these Sunday starts, these early starts are kind of, a lot of people still rolling over in bed. But, let me know where you at. Let me know. Let me know. Somebody tell me something. Or I'm just going to start talking. Start talking and hitting sound effects. You know what I'm saying? So let's see what we got in the bag this week. Yeah, come on in, y'all. Come on in. Pull up, have a seat. Let me know who's in here in the chat room. Give me a thumbs up. Do something. Show some signs of life on a Sunday. This ain't church. This is for the unchurched. You know what I'm saying? So let's see what we got in the bag this week. This week we have Memoirs of the Invisible Dad. Right? The Invisible Dad. So we're looking at the layout, the spreadsheet, the MO of the quintessential invisible dad. Now, as a man, I know a lot of men, that I've encountered through working various jobs, playing various sports, adult sports leagues, through other mutual friends, things of that nature. So you encounter men as you go along. Men meet men, through riding, and car clubs, all kind of stuff like that. Men stuff. You know what I'm saying? Big up the men stuff. I'm not trying to sound chauvinistic or anything like that, but through men stuff. And through those travels, Just getting to know guys, like whether you're on a team for a season together or something like that, you kind of get to know some personal information about different people, or whether they're on a job for a short period of time or even for a long period of time, and you guys get to talking and chopping it up and whatnot, you know, and depends on who you are as an individual, because I can judge nobody, right? I can judge nobody. But you come up, sometimes you come across certain individuals that you feel that like, damn, dog, you need to do a little bit better. You need to do a little bit better as someone that says they have children, like as a dad. You need to do a little bit better because it's like locker room talk. All the dirt come out. All the dirt come out when you casual and you around other men. I can't judge anyone else, but you kind of want to do, if you are a father, right? I would possibly go on a limb and say it's probably your responsibility to do the best that you could for your children. Give them the best opportunity to advance, and make something out of this beautiful gift that we've been gifted called life, right? So that would be from my point of view. But this is opinion radio right here. So this is my point of view, right? But then you have guys that choose to have children, right? But they, whether it's a oops baby, you got the infamous oops baby. I know what the oops baby is, right? That oops baby is when you try to get that little extra 1 or 2 pumps in, and then you be like, oh, ooh, ooh. That's the oops baby. If y'all know what the oops baby is, oh my God, the oops baby, that's crazy. There's a lot of oops babies in town, right? So if you're the father of the oops baby, it's still your responsibility, right? But you got people that duck and dodge shit, duck and dodge responsibilities, and they will go to the extreme to do so, right? So I'm gonna play this clip. This is a video, fair use. Shout out to Haps Television. Excuse me, yeah, Haps Television. Shout out to YouTube, Blog Talk Radio. Once again, the phone lines are open, 515-602-9602. But we're gonna get into the extremes that people will go after producing a child to avoid paying child support.
Deadbeat dad who died to get out of paying his child support. His story was just so unbelievable. Even superstars like Tyrese and P. Diddy called him out for it.
And you'll never believe what he's up to now. Or you know what? Maybe you will. Fox 6 investigator Megan Dwyer is here with her follow-up. Megan?
Fair
Ted,
use.
his real name is John McCroy. His rap name is Jack It Down. And he's using his 15 minutes of fame to make a name for himself and maybe try to make some cash. But if he is making money, prosecutors say it's still not going to his kids.
Jack it down! Meet Jack It Down.
Yeah, man, it's your boy Jack It Down, man.
He's just a regular guy from the 414 who takes selfies with wads of cash and posts his music videos on YouTube. Oh, and one other thing. He doesn't pay his child support.
Because I was ineligible to pay it. I was in the hospital. I died in a car accident.
What did he just say?
I died in a car accident.
You died in a car accident?
Yes.
Explain that.
No further questions.
Since that first interview, Jack It Down, back from the dead, has taken his self-promotion to the internet. He's become a meme, an overnight sensation, after being mentioned by Tyrese and P. Diddy on social media. His soundbite
I died in a car accident.
went viral, and every week since then, he's been trying to keep the spotlight on himself, using the hashtags I died and no further questions on Instagram, even writing songs about his fame. After all, his new mixtape is entitled Dead or Alive. trying to prove there's no such thing as bad publicity. You were flashing wads of cash on your Facebook page and not paying for your kid. What do you have to say about that?
No questions. No further questions. Talk to my lawyer.
Jacket Down is facing 5 charges of felony failure to pay child support. Prosecutors say he's supposed to pay $100 a month to help take care of his 5-year-old daughter. According to this criminal complaint against you, you haven't paid child support in 5 years.
Right. Correct.
It's not a crime if you can't pay child support. It's a crime when you can afford to pay and you don't pay on purpose for at least 4 months. In Jacket Down's case, his little girl was born on New Year's Eve 2008. In April of 2009, he was ordered to pay $100 a month. He never did. Then, in November of 2009, he got in a bad car accident. That's supposedly when he died. A year later, though, in 2010, he was trying to buy a car. In order to get a car loan, he had to be current on his child support. So he made his first and only payment of $100. Since then, it's been 4 years. Prosecutors say he hasn't paid a dime.
Mr. McCroy has paid nothing since this case was charged.
Since July, when he told Fox 6 he died in a car accident, Jacket Down has been all over social media, showing off a new car, wearing diamond sunglasses, rocking a mink coat, and checking out the latest trends in diamond jewelry.
Look at that fat boy rolling. 29G.
The mother of his daughter isn't impressed.
I feel like if he can be out here being flashy, that he can take care of our child.
When he's not rapping about his wealth, he's throwing himself birthday parties.
Jacket down, birthday bash.
And trying to convince people he really did die.
I really died.
Stacks and stacks of money, all this jewelry, the cars. It was just like, wow, really?
I really think that it's not that they're too stupid to realize that that is evidence. I think that they think that nobody cares.
Now he's trying to get out of paying child support altogether.
No further questions.
With the help of his lawyer, who he's paying for because he doesn't qualify for a public defender, he recently petitioned the Milwaukee County Family Court, arguing he shouldn't have to pay $100 a month. Instead, he wants to pay nothing, claiming he's been permanently disabled since his car accident. You're here in court, you're alive today, and you still haven't paid your child support. Even if you were in a bad car accident, it's been more than 5 years. When we first asked Jacket Down about how he got all of this money, he said he made it by selling mixtapes. That's confusing, though, because his mixtape is available here to download for free. And even though he doesn't want us asking,
No further questions.
there's still a lot of questions to be answered. Do you have anything you want to say to your kids, their mothers who are raising them alone? McCroy is fighting the felony charges against him. He'll go to trial in February. He plans to argue he's been disabled since his 2009 car accident. If he loses, he faces a maximum of 7.5 years in prison.
What are the songs that you played in this piece? I heard a familiar voice, and it sounded a lot like your voice, Megan.
Yes, that is true. Mr. McCroy actually sampled a couple of bits and pieces of our first story that aired, and that song is called No Further Questions. If he does start making money, I suppose Fox 6.
Oh my God. So I just had to laugh at that one. So that story right there, right? You know, hear me? Mic check 1 2. So that story right there. This is a couple of years old actually. Fair use, of course, nigga. This is a couple of years old. Let's see. Good afternoon, Rochelle Smith in the comments. Thank you. How you doing? I was getting I was like, damn, I'm the only one here. Thanks for being the first one to pull up. Break the ice, damn it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's a couple of years old, but it was just to we talking $100 now. $100? That's like $25 a month. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah, disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? Come on. That's crazy. So what I did today, right? Because T Roni is not shout out to T Roni, y'all. T Roni, she couldn't make it. She had to take care of some business on the early side today. Because of course this isn't our usual broadcasting time. Shout out to T Roni, y'all. Um oh boy. Yeah, facts. So we're going with straight audio mode today. So we're going with straight audio mode. Rochelle, you wanna come up on audio by any chance? Come have a giggle come have a laugh or two with this craziness right here, because I see that you got the chat popping. If you wanna come up on audio, all right. Give me 1 second. Eleanor Marie in the building. Now y'all pulling up. Yes, come in the joint, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Pull up in the joint. Give me 1 second. Let me go like this. I'm gonna go like that. Boom. So it's gonna be straight audio, so you don't have to set up anything. We're just gonna go audio with it. Eleanor Marie in the building. You wanna pull up Eleanor? Let me know. Because I'm gonna roll into phase two of this madness in a minute. You know what I'm saying? After I pay homage to the chat room. Eleanor, let me know if you want to come up. I'll send you an invite anyway, just in case. Boom. Let me see what we got here on the blog talk. Phone lines open 515-602-9602. All right. So I sent those invites out. So yeah, we talking $100. So boy, bye. I get 186 every 2 weeks. Are you kidding me? Yeah. Well, since the guy was unemployed, right? He I guess they gave him the minimum. Is there like a minimum? Does anybody know about this? Does anybody in the chat, anybody out there in ears listening, that's listening live, of course. I don't know if maybe there's like a minimum or something like that. But yeah, that's kind of crazy right here. All right, you out walking. Okay, cool, Eleanor. Sure. No, oh, sure, no problem, no problem, no problem. Yeah. So yeah, but listen in. So check it out. So hang on 1 second. Let me try this again. Let me send one more to you. Invite user and let me try it again on this side right here. Give me 1 second. Yeah, you should be able to come up. I'm not sure. My tech game is trash, but you should be able to accept invite. Let me try one more time. Michelle Smith, invite user. Yeah, I sent you another invite. So you should be able to click on live. I'm gonna try to walk you through this. Bear with me, y'all. This is just somebody, I don't know shit about it. So I'm trying to tell somebody. This is blind leading the blind here. Go on, click live, right? Or go on live, click, and then it should say enter. Here you go. All right. So I just want to see. I want to hear your thing. I can see you. You can.
Here I am. Yep.
Okay. All right. Let me get the volume. Let me set the volume up right here. How you doing? Happy Sunday, y'all. How you doing?
Happy Sunday.
All right. All right. Rochelle Smith in the building. Okay. All right. So we're
Oh
gonna.
man.
Let's see. How you feeling today?
Oh, all is well. Good. Today's a good Sunday. Um, you're a friend of mine because of Brother Shannon on Village Voice. But when I saw what you were talking about, I was like, uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Shout out Brother Shannon. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us. Do me a favor. Do me a favor. I'm getting a little bit of feedback. So if you could you're listening on desktop, laptop, or cell phone?
Cell phone.
Cell phone. Do you have buds to plug in your ears? Because I could hear maybe a little bit of
No.
feedback. Or maybe turn your
No,
volume
I
down
don't.
just a pinch.
Yeah,
Okay, just
here.
turn the volume down just a little bit, and we should be
Is
good
that
to go.
better?
Yeah, that's cool. I guess that's cool. Yeah, because I don't hear anything now. All right, so I'm gonna roll into part two of this. So, for example, I'm not gonna ask any personal questions. Um, but I did see you make a comment in the chat. Boy, bye. Was that you right there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So, what would you mind going into that, or just keep it rolling? Just like that's like
Oh, absolutely. First of all, my youngest daughter is 12. So
hmm
that means, of course, she was born in 2008. She'll be 13 this October. First of all, it took me 8 years to even get child support. And the thing is, I never went after the father of my child. And that's the thing that most men don't understand. Most states, if you because most of us work, most single mothers that I know work, and most of us have to have state funded insurance. So even that qualifies as state funds. So it's not like we getting food stamps, we out here just not working. But if you need insurance and your child was born while you were on state insurance, the state want that money back. Okay.
Fact. Okay.
So
hmm
my daughter was born, and I, of course, had state funded insurance, Medicaid, of course, because of course your job takes too much money out your check. You can't afford all that, right? So it took 8 years to even get child support, but that's partially my fault because I had moved around a little bit from state to state, and all states are different. So
Okay.
what he didn't understand is that it is the state that I was in on behalf of me. So it was not me personally running back and forth to any state FOC office. FOC is front of the court office, like hounding him, taxing him, wondering what he's doing, wondering where he's going, wondering what his ain't nobody checking for your pockets, dog. Nobody care about your pockets
Okay.
because you showed me during my pregnancy that you weren't going to be there. Of course, bad decisions on my part, not looking at things on my part. I take responsibility. But if
hmm
the state is doing it on behalf of me because I have state funded insurance and you're only ordered to pay 186 every 2 weeks, that's
Mm,
$372 a month. I spend more than that in food. Are you serious?
facts. Facts. Oh boy. Mm.
But you have the audacity to ask me to cancel it? First of all, it's above me now.
It's in the state's hands now, right? Correct. Like
It's
once.
above me now. Like if I went to the state and said cancel the child support, they'd be looking at me like, well, Miss Lady, you were asking us for help with your insurance. This man is part of why this child is here. Why shouldn't we get money? You know what I'm saying? Like, are you
That's fine.
serious?
But they're right about that. No, it's absolutely right when you look at it from both ways. Like, first of all, like I understand that children are the byproducts of relationships, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a
No, no, no,
single
no, no. Let's keep it a buck since we grown. Relation children
uh-huh.
out of relationships is unprotected sex, not a relationship.
Well, I'm just saying, I mean in general, like relations. I meant keeping it a buck in here, damn it. You must have listened to the show. We keep it real in here. We don't curb nothing.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to keep it Sunday morning friendly, but it's Sunday afternoon,
I
damn
mean,
it.
and I get that, but let's just understand that some of these children are not born out of relationship. It was born out of a sexual transaction. Let's let's
Fact.
let's let's just keep it a buck.
Mhm. Mhm. Fact. Fact. All right. So at the same time, right? Because it takes two to tangle, right? So you
Absolutely,
feel like so it's responsibility of both people, right?
absolutely.
One that has custody, and then the one that doesn't have custody, if the relationship is no longer functional together in a one together in one place,
Hmm.
whatever, right? So whoever doesn't have custody needs to help support, right? So I understand that clearly,
Absolutely,
right? That's common sense. It's like we grown folks here. That's common sense, right? But we're gonna now, and that's serious talk. So hopefully things everything works out. So everything is kind of well, hopefully everything works. I don't want to get too much into your personal business, you know what I mean? But like hopefully, everything
hmm.
works out smooth
Oh
and
no, everything is cordial and acclimated. It's just the fact that here's the other side of this too. First
okay.
of all, when I was listening to the piece and I said this man is arguing about $100, you spend $100 just going outside by
That's what I
accident.
thought.
Are you serious? Are you serious?
That's crazy. $100. Yeah, that's $25
Your
a week.
cell phone bill is $100, sir.
Facts. Facts. You know, and me myself personally, I don't care how the relationship goes or how the breakup goes. As grown folk, we need to be responsible. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's some
But
definite
you spend $100 on a in a you can spend $100 in 10 minutes.
facts. Facts. Depending on what part of the what avenue or what boulevard you're walking down and how many stores you walk past, you damn
Okay, let
right.
me just let me just keep it real since we're adults. You're
Go
gonna
for
spend
it.
when you go outside to gas up your car, you're gonna put at least 20 in it. That's 20. Then you're
Minimum.
gonna get something to eat. That's about another 20. Now you have 40. Then if you go somewhere else and do something else, you go to Target or Walmart, God forbid, you about to spend at least 50. Now you already over $100. You ain't even made it 3 blocks from your house.
Facts. Now, yeah, now she ain't lying either. She ain't lying. That is facts. And like me being a man, men and women spend money differently, right? Men, I mean,
Mhm.
women spend more money on like I would say household things, like things for the
Mhm.
apartment or whatever, right? You spend more stuff on
Mhm.
toiletries, stuff like that. Basic living stuff. Because men, we can live on the run. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? We could just, grab something here and there. If you're a bachelor, that is, you could kind of just live on the run. So you're not up in the supermarket all the time and I'm talking pre-health crisis, like we're going through a health crisis or coming out of a health
Yeah.
crisis, God
Yeah.
willing, hopefully. But like pre-health crisis is all like in the instances that I'm referring to, right?
Mhm.
Men live on the
The
run.
audacity. The
Yeah,
audacity.
yeah, that's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy. But like, but we'll go to parties and spend money on bottles of liquor. They spend more than that in
Don't get
a
me
party.
started. Sunday night smoke. Do not get me started.
Get started, damn it. That's why we're here. but
Let me just break this down for you since I'm okay. I'm 45
go
years
in,
old.
go in, go in.
So
You my
so
guest. Go
I'm so I'm about to go in. So
ahead.
first of all, you spend in sections. So you spending money. First, you have to get out the house, and that's if you're not living in apartment 6F, probably some little low level 6F apartment. Now you done bought your your fake shiny belts and your Jordan 12s, and you done spent about a good 1,000 on an outfit to go
Mhm.
sit in a section with about 14 dudes talking about me and big bro. I could respect it more if you was out here tricking that kind of money and you had chicks. So really, who are you trying to impress? Is you trying to impress dudes? You trying to impress women? And no offense to the alphabet mafia, but are y'all niggas gay for real? Who is you stunting for? Who are you stunting for? Who are you trying to impress?
Mm. Well, put it like this, and I'm not exactly sure because we're from different areas, right? Right. So I'm not gonna
Hmm.
name. I'm not sure who they are, but whoever they are, there's a version or several versions of that particular clique in every inner city across.
You taking pictures with dudes. There is not one chick to be found. And what are you doing, sir? What are you doing? I'm posted up with Big Bro and the crew. Dog, what? I'm confused. I don't understand. I don't understand this mentality.
But you know what though? But remember, we live in a, and I'm hoping these people are not you. I'm hoping that these are not people that are 40 years old. It's like
Oh baby boy, let's not do the 40 pluses. Oh, oh,
no,
oh my gosh.
I mean, no. I mean, like I see what you're saying. Okay, got you. All right, because I don't want to give too much
let's
information.
not let's not
Yeah. But this is OG shit. So they got OG niggas. So they got so you got the
let,
grown ass men doing it all the way. So they start like it's OGs and they got younger guys in the crew also basically. So it's like a whole
well, here's the
range
thing. Here's the thing. The
from
problem with the
too
problem
much
with the big bros
Mhm.
the problem with the big bros is that these big bros are the ones that are more established, have basically raised their children, and they're still out here like as if you know what I mean. It's crazy.
Oh.
But when I heard $100, that irritated my spirit in a special way because I have never been an advocate of friend of the court. I don't like to get them folk in people business because it causes
Fact.
more harm than good in most situations.
Yeah,
I
once
just feel
other
like if you
people,
have
yeah,
been ordered. Oh, and here's the other part of the situation I meant to say too, is
go
that
ahead.
first of all, a lot of men don't want to show up to court. So then they're talking about, well, I don't even know if she's mine. Didn't the court ask you to come submit DNA? They ask you to submit DNA many times before they order it by default. Most of these orders are by default because you won't show up to court, sir. If you have a
Oh,
question, and it is every man's right to know if a child is his. But if you won't even show up to court to submit DNA, how dare you? How dare you question?
ah!
a-
Mm,
If
facts.
that is your basic premise about why am I getting ordered child support, first of all, if the court has asked you to come, and they do this multiple times before they order a default judgment, and that's how most of these orders get processed. So if the court has asked you 3, 4, 5, 50, 11 times to show up to court just for DNA, sir, and I'm gonna use that lightly, sir, ma'am. You know what I
Mm,
mean? Come to court and submit go to the office, submit the DNA. Then at least know what you're paying for. But then you have the audacity after you've been ordered to pay, after your check's getting garnished, to say, "Well, I don't even know if the baby mine." Now it's by default. You don't get no more say so. You don't get to question whether the baby is yours. And then you have the utter nerve to say, "Well, I've been paying for a baby. I don't even know if she's mine. He or she is mine." Are you serious right now? Do you know how many times they ask you? The reason why I know is I went through this because every time you don't go to court, I get notified.
really? Oh,
You see what
okay.
I'm saying?
Say it's a no-show. Okay, that's how that works. Because I had no idea how that works. Okay.
Yes. So every time they don't, so in my situation, because I'm transparent, the
Mhm.
court asked me to bring me and my daughter submit DNA. It's a simple swab. It don't even take 10 minutes. You spend more time filling out the paperwork than you do for the thing. They put it in a little file, they send it, and then they wait for him, if they can even find him, to show up to court. And every time he don't show up to court for the DNA, you get notified. So and so said man did not show up to court. He didn't show up to court. Finally, it goes into default because the court gets tired of asking him to show up to court. And
Mm,
so now they're gonna run your pockets because they're like, well, he didn't even come to court for DNA. Well, then we gonna do what we do.
mm. Facts.
So if men really want to use their power of the court, show up to court and show up and say, first of all, give the DNA. Baby's yours. We're just gonna say the baby's yours, and then that gives you the power to say what your money looking like, because they can't check for your pockets if you actually have use your voice.
Facts.
Now, if you don't show up to court and they find you and it's by default, now they just gonna run your pockets because you have not proven to be responsible. You have not proven that you want to use your voice. And now it's much harder on the actor to even overturn whatever the judgment is because you didn't even show up to say yes, no, maybe so, or that I'm going to try to be responsible.
Mm, facts.
You're putting yourself in a trick bag, sir. And
Mm.
here's the but here's the but here's
Go ahead. Go ahead. Keep
the
going.
crazy
Keep
part
going.
about all of it.
Mhm.
Here's the crazy part about all of it. It's the state on behalf. So you can't get mad at the woman. It's because the paperwork clearly says the state wherever you live on behalf of said woman. So
Mm,
who are you really mad at, sir? She's not the one going after you.
mm.
Reading is fundamental.
Well, if they're hiding, apparently, then nigga ain't thinking about reading. You know what I'm
And then
saying?
how you gonna call her and say get it canceled? She didn't put the thing into effect. The state did. It's above her now. So you really want her to go against the state on your behalf when you wouldn't even show up to court, bro? You got me. Excuse me. You got me fucked up.
Facts. Shots fired. Listen. I'm not mad at you. But let me now listen, facts. And thank you for that. Thank you for that testimony right there. That's facts because a lot of fellas don't really know how it works. Like a lot of fellas that are not on child support or not in the particular baby daddy situation, we're not exactly sure how that works. So thank you for laying that out there because you know what? I'm not gonna lie because you know me, I'm a man obviously, and I'm pro fellas. Like I can't front. So
Hmm.
and just like how women are pro women, right? So I'm just like, so I'm hearing it only because I don't really have very many female friends and coworkers like that, or in my realm or my circle. I don't really get to hear that if that side of the story. You understand where I'm coming from? So
Hmm.
I appreciate
Yeah.
hearing some more because you just hear from the fellas like, yeah, man,
No.
shit. Da, 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 da. And you know me, I'm from the side out anyway, like you shouldn't be in the court anyway, because you should have been on deck. You know what I'm saying? This is the way I look at it. If you responsible, you should have been on deck already. So you shouldn't even the court shouldn't even be the state shouldn't even be involved in your life, whether you're in a relationship or not. But that's just my personal opinion. But I can't judge anybody. You know, that's
But here's the
I'm
problem.
a
If
bigger
she's
talk.
if
Mhm,
I'm gonna go for my situation because I know it's different situations.
go
But if
for it.
I'm an actively working single parent and I have
Mhm,
a baby, but I
mhm,
have state funded insurance
mhm.
and I don't want to cooperate when the state says, well, where's the daddy at? Now you putting me in a trick bag because they're saying, well, we're gonna cut off your insurance. But I have kids. So you really want me not to cooperate? You really want me to, unless there's a reason, and especially if you haven't signed, if you're not married and the man has not signed the affidavit of paternity in some states. You know what I'm saying? So that's basically like, so you basically got knocked up. The dude left you hanging out to dry. You're working, you're a single parent, but you don't even have enough money for insurance or whatever. So you're trying to tell me that I'm not supposed to cooperate. So I got kids and I got an insurance. Now I have a newborn, and you want me not to? You got me. You got to be kidding me. Are you serious?
Facts. Shots fired. Shots fired. Now, thank you for that testimony. Now that's real shit. Let me see. Let me look
You
at this.
want me to not have insurance for me and my children, especially now that I'm postpartum?
And you're not even participating, and you're not even doing shit right. So you can't look.
No.
You can't go out on a limb. And I'm gonna run down the resume. I'm gonna run that shit down in 1 second. Give me 1 second. Eleanor Marie.
Mhm.
Oh, but shout out Eleanor Marie. Eleanor Marie says, but all that they do. I be chopping shit up all the time. It's not like I can't read, y'all, but all right. I need to start reading them shits before I read them, actually. But all that they do in Colorado when child support isn't paid is take the person's driver's license away. Like that's gonna help shit. Eleanor, you can pull up whenever you what's the name? I sent out a thing to you. I know you out on the street, but so they just take in Colorado. You could just think. I'm not gonna ask you what state you're in. That's too much information. But different states I think have different rules. Now, maybe I mean I've heard that before
Now,
in New York.
I used to be a resident of Illinois. I know Illinois is very harsh. They will put you in jail. They will take away your license. They will take away your right. They will put you in jail. But I think that's dumb. It's because if he's already not paying, what's putting him in jail gonna do?
Got you. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
That's that's
Frida.
that's 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 counterintuitive to the problem.
Yeah, because now he can't
You
work.
know,
If he goes to jail, he can't work to pay the shit. So that's
first
like
of all, if he
no
takes his
way.
driver's license away, how we gonna get to work? You're giving him more excuses not to pay.
Facts. But then at the same time, to him not being able to get that money to feed himself, then he can't support the baby and nobody else. So that just adds to a compound situation. Like it kind of adds to it. Frida, pardon me 1 second. Frida in the house. Frida Gillespie in
Hey,
the
Free,
building.
how you doing?
How you doing,
That's
Free?
that's yeah, that's part of the fam.
Yeah, they go to I remember, yes, yep, exactly. Thanks for pulling up. They all go to jail, no loot. And then
But it's counterintuitive to the problem. And here's the other issue that
true.
I have too. Now
Mhm.
you have now you have my thing is like, no offense, but one thing I
Go
do
for it.
know that I was taught about how men move.
Go
Hit
for it.
them where it hurts. Let them keep working. Let them do that. But you see, here's another issue. I say, just like the government, you don't pay like you owe IRS.
Mhm,
Here's where it gets tricky. So you want to pay all this money. So just like when you don't pay your student loans and they garnish them shits,
mhm.
every time he has to file taxes, every time he gets
Uh-oh. Can you hear me?
Run it.
Are you slowing down a little bit? Hang on. Rochelle, can you still hear me? I
She
think
has
your
got
audio was fused up. Okay, here you go. You're back. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Your audio froze up for a minute. Continue. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
they should go like they should do like the government with student loans and everything else. Every time he files taxes, all these stimulus checks and everything, run that. You owe child support, and if
Back.
you married to a woman, and if you're married to a woman, women, because I ran across this too, women. You be careful who you out here marrying. Look into his credit. Look into his child support. They come in for your money too. Two become one. Run all them pockets. Run them.
Pockets. Watch them
If
shits.
you marry a man who has been so irresponsible not to take care of his children, I don't care about your household. Run that. Run it. Run it. Run his
Straight.
pockets every time.
Now check it out. Now let me go into something real quick. Hang out with me, right? You got a few minutes, right? You got a little while. Hang
Absolutely.
out with me.
Yep.
All right,
Mhm.
cool. I'm gonna run into a quick dialogue, right? Frida, hey loves. How you doing, Frida? Frida, I sent you an invite if you want to jump on the audio podcast with us. I'm gonna go into a quick dialogue, right?
Mhm.
So, like I said, I know a lot of people. A lot of friends, associates, friends of friends. You know how men kind of if you're
Mhm.
socially active as a man, you kind of go, you go through the flow, right? You meet different people, connect with different people, whatever, whatever. I'm no spring chicken either at that. So, but I've met a lot of people that fall into the irresponsible dad category, the invisible dads. I've met them personally. I've known them. I've hung out with them. I've seen them niggas in action, right? So, no, straight up. I'm gonna flow into this shit. Yeah, we're gonna have fun with it because this is a serious
Yeah.
topic, but at the same time, you know how we
Mhm.
do on this
It
show.
is
We tackle all
very
angles,
serious.
right? We're gonna have a little fun with this shit now, but this is the shit now. I know these niggas, right? And this is not to throw anybody in particular under the bus, like it is men, but or any particular group of men, because some of my best friends are white and some of my best friends are black. So I know I'm a very well-rounded person from my experiences and my
Mhm.
travels and things, right? In this, men are men. So I know there's the good, there's the bad, just like everybody, all races, all colors and creeds. But we go through the same shit, right? Me, the situation you just described, right? And I'm not sure who the father is, and I'm not throwing him under the bus, but just in general, I know somebody, so he'll get my nickname is Dust Daddy, right? Now Dust Daddy,
Mhm.
right? He's a dusty dad, right? He falls under the
That's
invisible
terrible.
dad category, right? And this right here is for all the ladies out here that are listening to this, right? I'm gonna give you a description of who not to have a child with, right? And all the mothers out there that have young daughters now, see, because I've never been in that situation. I'm not a mother and I don't have any daughters, right? You have to have that conversation with the children and possibly think even if you don't
Absolutely, you
think
do.
they're sexually active, maybe have birth control. Because from the times that we were younger, from say late age millennials, early generation Xers, all the way through generation X, all the way down. The world accelerates faster and faster and faster with technology, access to information.
I'm a 70s baby. I'm a 70s baby. I'm serious Generation X.
Copy, copy. So you understand what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
Like before, back in those days, right, right. The dress was the dressing was a little different. The clothing may have been a little less revealing as you were growing up, possibly. Things
Oh,
were
absolutely.
so things are at an accelerated rate right now. Like right now, thottery is in town. Thottery is the business right now. So we don't want our
I am
daughters
so
to grow up
say Thottery one more time.
thottery.
Oh my god.
We can have some fun. Yeah, yeah. Loosen up. Yeah, we laugh. We
Oh
we
my
do.
god.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh god.
Thottery. Yeah, that's that shit. Thottery, right? Thottery is in business right now. right? So we got to be careful about our daughters, right? And
Absolutely.
yeah. So we gotta, the next generation is gonna take over soon, right? We gotta be careful with our
My
daughters.
two, I am the mother of 4 children, 2 boys and 2 girls.
Okay.
My two oldest are my boys. I have 27, 23, 19, and 12. My girls are the youngest. My 27-year-old is a graduate of Tennessee State University. He walks in December because of COVID. He's on his way
Hey,
to interview in Cali with Apple. He's an engineering
nice.
major. He is
I'm
right now
interested
he's
in.
with his intended, helping take care of her. But I told him from the earliest age possible he understood what sex was. I
Mhm,
told him, I said, you be careful because what's cute at 16, 17 ain't gonna be cute at 27, 28.
mhm.
Okay? Your choice in a woman can either elevate or derail your whole life. You have to
Fact.
be very careful because the options that you have out here are very, very many. And you have to be understanding that just because it looks good doesn't mean you should do it. I said between
Mhm.
disease, a baby is the least problematic thing you can catch out here, but it is a lifetime of issue if you're not prepared to have that kind of responsibility. Excuse my language. I taught my sons
Of
to
course.
have very bougie dick. Everybody don't deserve your body. Everybody
Mhm.
don't deserve your body. Everybody don't deserve your time. Your time is precious. I said the only difference between you and Bill Gates is how you spend your 24 hours.
Mm. Facts.
And as men, and as young men, their
Mhm.
mamas don't talk to them like that. Their mamas don't teach them that their bodies are temples too. Men are created, dot ass men are created because nobody's ever told them that it's not okay to be like that. That
So
it's
fuck
okay
boys.
to just be running chicks.
Fuck boys. Yeah,
It's
that's the
not
real
okay.
stereotype. Mhm.
A man being a hoe is no more attractive than a woman being a hoe. It's just more accepted and it's not talked about.
Facts. Because it's more exciting. That's a because I
Nobody
could.
wants to talk about the fact that these men, by the time they're 20, 21, have body counts that are almost in the hundreds. And nobody talks on it. Nobody speaks on it. Their mamas don't tell them. I'm just keep it a buck. Their mamas don't tell them you ain't shit. Their sisters don't tell them you ain't shit.
Facts. And
No
now.
woman,
Mhm. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go.
and
I'm
I'm
sorry. Go ahead.
sorry, their daddies, their uncles, their so-called OGs don't ever check these boys about their reckless sexual behavior.
Facts.
They don't consider the harm that they're causing. Like, they don't ever and as for being a mother, I would think you would take it into your spirit to understand that's not just your boy or your son you're raising. You're raising a man that has to contribute to society. You're raising somebody's daddy, somebody's husband. Do you really want him to recreate the same cycles that brought the hurt and the pain and the harm into your heart and to your household? The fact that maybe their daddies aren't around, and so you're gonna recreate the same cycle and send this young man out into the world to recreate the same thing to cause that hurt and pain to somebody else's daughter, and then have the audacity to say, "I didn't raise them like that." Well, then who did, Phyllis? Who raised them like that? Who did it?
Because now
Who did
now
it?
and it revolves in a circle, right? And it revolves back
Yeah,
to the invisible dad, right?
yeah.
Because now let me ask you one question. Now would you have considered I guess before, I'm not sure how long you've been separated, right, from the father of the boys, right? Would you have considered turning over custody
Actually,
to
okay,
the
wait a
boy?
minute. Actually, my first 3 oldest kids all have the same father. We were high school sweethearts. We were together from the time I was 14,
Mhm. No, continue.
and I
Don't
had my first baby at 18. We didn't break up till I was 27.
okay. So my question is now, right? Would you have
Mhm.
considered giving the boys to the father
I
to
did.
let the
I
boys
did.
let them be raised by the
I
father?
did.
There
I
you go.
did.
That's what I'm
I did.
talking. Okay. Yes. Okay. So what made you do that? Let me just ask you, just so because some
Because my
may not
son,
agree
my
with
oldest son,
that.
what
Mhm.
made me do it, my oldest son and I got into not a physical altercation. What happened was my son was acting up at school. He was around 10, 11 years old. But my
Getting
son
pulled.
is a very, he was a very tall boy, right? And
Mhm.
I'm only using boy because at 10, 11, he's still a boy. So my
Mm.
son at 10 was already 5'7".
Oh
Okay.
my god.
So he's looking me in my face. And so whatever he had got in trouble at school, he had forged my signature on a document. And
Oh,
so of course I'm about to give him the business. So what
damn.
he did is he grabbed the belt and the look on his face, I said, wait a minute. And I took off my glasses, pulled my hair in a bun, took off the jewelry. He didn't know what that meant. And I told him, I said, I'm about to hurt you. I'm about to hurt you bad. But I'm going
Yeah.
to give you your 5 feet and 20
Mhm.
in a couple minutes to get your thoughts together. But his
Mhm.
body didn't relax and he didn't stop. So before he realized it, I had three pieces, and two to his face, one to his kidney, he's on the ground.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
And and I did not want to raise my child or my other smaller kids in that kind of environment watching me and my son, because
Right.
once you have to physically treat your son like he's somebody off the street, the whole dynamic changes.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I called his dad that day and I said, if you don't want me to go to prison and you want all your kids living and breathing, when this school year is over, you need to come get them. And
Facts.
so when that school year was over, his dad came, and the first thing he did was lift him up with one arm by his neck and say, "If you ever try your mama again, I'll kill you." And
Now listen, now
and
that's real. Go ahead. Mhm. That's it.
and I and his stuff was packed, and he spent the rest of his he was 10, so that means
Okay.
he was maybe 5th or 6th grade, and he has not lived in my house ever again. And do I feel bad about that? Sometimes I do. We kept in contact, of course. We would do visits and all that stuff back and forth, but he was never once again a resident of my household, and he had to see what the other side of life was when it comes to being raised by a man.
Facts, facts. Because now, and I'm not saying this to be in nothing chauvinistic here or anything like that. Let me get there you go. Not to be
Mhm.
chauvinistic or anything like that, but I feel it is possibly a better uh solution for the fathers to possibly present, to the mother, could I take the boys at a certain age, you understand, where you can only do so
Oh,
much with a
absolutely.
boy, that maybe it's a better idea, if say for example the family separates young and you have a boy, just hypothetically, not you per se, but the woman takes the
Mhm.
boy at 1 year old. Okay, maybe at about 6, 7, you know what I mean? You know, maybe
I would
10.
say before
I'm
he when he
guessing.
I would say around puberty, because
Yes,
they
yeah,
when they're that little, they do need their mamas. But my
yes.
thing about it is everybody was like, "How could you let your kids go stay with their daddy?" First of all, that's their daddy,
Mm, thank
and second of all,
okay, time out, time
a
out. Say
reason
that
a
again?
woman.
Say that again.
Hmm?
First of all, it's their daddy. It's not
It's
just
their daddy.
the women think that the children
They're not they're
belong
not
to
they're
them
not going to foster care.
only.
The state's not removing them. They're going to live with their daddy.
Facts. It's not it's nothing wrong with that. But a lot of times I hear, and I'm not, I'm not being the male guy, but I'm just saying a lot of times it's like, no, no, these are my kids. Like, wait, didn't it
No, no,
take
no, no.
you
They are your
yeah,
kids.
you
But I have
all
told
together this is kids, this is.
I am a big proponent of keeping it a buck. A woman can raise a man. Woman can raise her son to be a good person and to have empathy and sympathy and compassion. But what a
Mhm.
woman cannot do is teach a man how to grab his nuts and stand up. She can't do it. She can't do it. She can't.
It's hard. It's yeah, yeah. So, you may get some backlash from this, whatever. "Oh, no, you crazy, and I'm the mother and the father." But, I don't wanna spin off of it too much, right? But
Mhm.
you absolutely right. So I wanna give a quick rundown of if so I wanna give a quick hit a couple of quick bullet points, right? We're gonna have fun with it for a
Mhm.
second.
Yeah.
Hit a couple of quick bullet points. Frida, if the dad is capable to raise the kids, then it's cool. But if the dad is garbage, then what? Well, if the dad is garbage, then you have to make that decision. I'm not saying, every situation is gonna be the same. You know how that go, Frida. Like we always have to make the best decision. Like she said, if it's a situation where okay, he's capable and he's making his payments and everything, and he's cooperative and he's in their life anyway, then if everything is in a cooperative situation, why not? And as the man should embrace that because that's probably one of the biggest honors in life is for a man to have a son, and he needs to be there. So that's how I look at it. But yes, he definitely needs to be capable to raise them
But
kids.
yeah, and I'm going to address Frida. If the dad is garbage, it depends on what kind of garbage he is. Definitely, if he's abusive or there's been history of violence, absolutely not. But
Yeah,
sometimes garbage is
subjective
perception. Yeah,
subjective to the
it's perception.
relationship. Yes. Now,
And
and when you
sometimes
say garbage, I'm sorry.
and
I'm sorry.
sometimes in my I'm sorry, and sometimes in my case, depending on what kind of garbage he is, even if he was garbage to you, does not mean he is going to be a garbage dad. There's a
Facts.
difference.
True.
Facts.
I think it's
Because
also
the
equally
kids work.
important.
I got you, Eleanor. Give me 1 second. Facts. So.
Hello?
Yep. I hear you. I hear you. You hear me? You still with us? You still with us? Yeah. You can hear me, Michelle. Michelle, you can still hear me? I see. I may have lost Michelle. Hold on here. Rochelle, do you still hear us, Michelle? I see you. I'm just gonna keep you in the queue. So whenever I hear you, actually, say something, Michelle. Eleanor, you here? I see you. I think
I can't hear. No.
you can't hear. Wow, I hear you. Let's see what's going on with this. Can you hear now? Can you hear? 1, 2, 1, 2.
I see her mic working. It might be on my end. Let me.
Let's
I
see.
need to go out
Frida,
if I can.
Frida, can't hear Shell. Okay, Michelle, you're gonna have to. Okay, she went down for a second, but I'm keeping it open so she can plug back in when she's ready. Frida, thank you. Eleanor. Okay, we're just on audio today, so it's no big deal. How you can hear me clearly, Eleanor?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we continue. Frida, can you hear both of us? Frida, let us know in the chat if you could hear both me and Eleanor. So how you doing? You finished walking the dog?
Yeah.
Okay, Frida. Yes, so she can hear us. All right, so we in business. So you've been listening, Eleanor. Happy Sunday. How's everything?
Oh, it's good. It's good. How are you?
Cool, cool. Eleanor Marie, thanks for joining us. Live. So I assume that you were listening to the cast earlier.
Yeah.
What do you feel about this? How do you feel about this? Invisible Dad.
I mean, I had one of those just like loser guys. Had a bunch of kids taken by state and shit. Just loser. But like she was saying, I think it's really important also though that you never, even if the dude's the hugest loser, never
Mhm.
tell your kids that. Never say that to your kids.
Okay. 1 second, Frida. Go ahead.
It just I think it one, it's not up to you to decide to tell your kids who someone is.
Mhm.
And so when you tell them that there's something wrong with him, it makes them think there's something wrong with them.
Yes.
Because
Okay.
that's half of them. Like it's so important to yeah. And I've
Mhm.
seen a lot of both mothers and fathers like bash the other person in front of the kids, and that's never all right.
Facts. Yeah, yeah. You want to kind of keep the kids oblivious to the situation. You don't kind of
Yep.
because you know what? Because in the event, and God forbid, in the event that one of the parents is lost and the other parent has fed negative ideas into the child, and then the other parent has to take over, then the relationship could possibly be damaged before it even because there's a preperception. So
Yep.
that's a hell of a good point right
Can you
there.
guys hear me?
Okay, Frida. Yeah, we hear you, Frida. We got Frida Gillespie in the house, y'all. Thank you for joining us. What do you got on this, Frida?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. Eleanor, can you hear
Oh,
Frida?
okay, cool.
Yep.
You're loud and clear. Go for it, Frida.
Oh no,
How you
I was
feeling?
just joining in. I mean, I
Okay. Well, I
I
mean, have you
mean,
been all right, let me ask you then. I'm sorry to cut you. Frida Gillespie in the house. Now, Frida, have you been listening to the because I saw you come in a little bit late. So let me just
yes, I
refresh
did.
your memories. Not refresh your memories, but let me catch you up real fast on this, right? Today's episode is Memoirs of the Invisible Dad, right? So we're talking about pretty much fathers that are not active in their sons' lives, right? And in their daughters' lives as
Deadbeat
well.
dad.
Kind of deadbeat dads, basically, to give it a yeah, basically, right? Because I don't want to put it as a certain label, but we're gonna label it that, right? If that's the case. So we're talking about deadbeat dads, right? So we're
Yes.
also now we were at the level of where we were talking about now if the parents are separated and there's a boy that has reached the puberty stage, pubescence age, should the boy be should the father take custody of the boy at that age? So,
No, only if he's been in his life consistently in one way, shape, or form. But I mean, if you
of
just
course, of course,
turning
of
him
course.
over to a stranger, no,
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 I
of
don't care
course.
if it is his dad.
Of course. I'm talking about in the best case scenario, whereas in the father has been paying child support,
Oh yeah, yeah.
keeping
So
up with the
visitation,
payment
yeah. If they've been
agreements
doing
and the
their thing,
visitation
yeah,
rights.
definitely.
If the father has been doing what he needs to do, right? Even though the relationship is not working anymore, right? So you're already
Right.
separated at that age. Do you think it's a good idea to do so?
If it's an option, that's good.
Okay, that's fair enough. Okay. So, do you have children? Just curious. I don't want to get too much into your personal life.
Who, me?
Yeah. Do you have any sons, for example,
I
specifically?
got a grandson, but I have three
Okay.
daughters, 28, 17, and 14.
Oh, okay.
And my grandson is 5 now, but
Oh, he's too
my
young.
20 now 28-year-old daughter had him. That's his mom.
Okay.
But the
Is the
thing
dad
that
around? Is the father around? May I ask?
of my,
Is the
for
father
my
active
grandson,
with the grandson? Yes.
he wasn't at first, and then it was a situation with my daughter where you know
They weren't
he
together,
was just
basically. You
not
don't got to get too much
helping.
into it. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, he wasn't helping her. So, she
Oh.
branched out on her own. And then all of a sudden, he was in the beginning. First of all,
Mhm.
when he met my child, he was 37, she was 21. Statutory rape. He shouldn't have even
Oh,
been
21?
fucking with my child. So
What state are you
she
in?
gets
No,
pregnant.
no, don't go. I'm sorry. Go
Huh?
ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Because that's a wow.
So
That's
she gets,
21.
yeah, that's fucked up. So she gets pregnant at 21. She gave birth to
Is that a
Dylan.
minor
She was
where you live?
she was 22. Huh?
I said, "It's 21." I'm sorry. Is because yeah, like yeah. Please don't say that
No,
word
it's
with an R.
not.
Don't use the R word because that messes up the algorithm. Like they'll cancel the video. I'm sorry. I should have warned you. But I didn't know that story was going to go in that direction. But is that a minor in your 21 years old? Is that a minor?
No, no, she wasn't a minor, but
Oh,
what
okay.
would a
I'm sorry.
40-year-old want with a 20-year-old? I'm just curious.
Uh, to be honest,
He could be her
men like
dad,
younger
first of
women.
all.
Men like younger women. I just hate to say it, but continue
Well,
with the story. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Continue with the story. So he
exactly.
wasn't.
So
So he wasn't a good father. Yeah, we like younger women.
he
I'm sorry. Mhm.
he wasn't a good person, period. Later
Oh
on, come to
no.
find out after Dylan was born, he's been to prison for raping, stabbing, and beating a chick.
Don't say
Now
that
you out here.
word. Don't say the
Oh,
word. The
stop.
R
Which
word.
word?
Mhm.
Oh, rape. Oh, okay, okay, okay. So,
I'm saying that word. Go ahead. Continue.
I'm sorry.
Assault.
So,
Say
yes.
assault. Say sexual assault, please.
Okay, sexual assault.
You're gonna get a blood
So,
pulled on us. God dang.
and
Go ahead.
and had yeah,
Mhm, mhm.
it's pretty brutal.
Got you.
So,
Oh,
nevertheless,
sorry to hear that.
he
Oh, wow.
he was a jerk,
Mhm.
and in the end,
You don't want
he
them to
flipped
get in your
everything
head.
around because they were in a your kids don't listen to you, so it's all messed up anyways. So my daughter was living in a little hick town, and it didn't do much good for her. So basically, I always say the judges are the paper pushers, which
Yes.
they are because they don't take the time to investigate a case because each case is different.
Copy.
And
Mm-hmm.
I'm the type of person where I'm documenting everything. I don't care what time you go to the bathroom to urinate, I'm documenting it.
Mm-hmm.
So everything was documented and submitted to the court once we found out about the heinous background.
Oh
So
wow.
the courts, in turn, they
Hmm.
didn't do much up there. I guess he kept running in the courts telling them, yeah, if y'all don't do something and get her and get my son back here, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z, X, Y, and Z. And so, of course, the courts, they
Restraining
look at
order.
it, well, hey,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right, they're black on black. So we going to go ahead and push them on through the system and let them work it out on the other side. So in the end,
Uh,
that's all they did. My daughter, no criminal history. She has never been in any trouble with the law.
mm-hmm.
How about these assholes let them put the U.S. Marshals on my baby? Do you know they came down here and picked my
What?
daughter up and extradited her back to Michigan? I had my
For what?
grandson. I got custody of him
Mm-hmm.
during the whole messed up situation when Stacy had to go back. And so I
Oh,
had
that's
my
crazy.
baby, and so I felt bombarded because the CPS department down here told me that it was just a hearing for me just to update them on my grandbaby and the situation. And then, that was it. They didn't tell me that the monster was here. That monster flew
Mm.
down here to Florida. First of all, you're a tier 3 registered sex offender, a lifetime registered sex offender, tier
Yes.
3.
Yes.
How are you traveling out of state?
Oh wow. He slipped through.
How are you doing that?
Wow. I
And
didn't
so
know about
then
that. Okay.
the the court here said, well, that's his dad, and we have to, if another biological parent is alive, we have to release the child to the biological parent. I said, do you understand he's a tier 3 lifetime registered sex offender? By law, he shouldn't even have custody. He shouldn't even be around children. If you're sticking
Facts.
to the law, if you're sticking to the law.
Facts.
So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
in a nutshell, but they don't stick to the law for us. They do what they do, push those
No,
papers through and get us out their face.
you know how that works.
So,
Mm-hmm.
yep. So I turned my grandson over to that monster, and the last words that I can hear is my baby saying, Grandma, no, Grandma, no.
Oh
And
God.
oh my God, that just rings out in my ears. It does something to my soul. You just don't know.
Oh my God. I'm so sorry
Ever
about
since
that.
August 10th, 2018 was the last time I laid eyes on my grandson.
Mm.
Mm,
So,
I'm sorry.
you know, come on now. And grandparents have no rights. My
Yeah.
daughter is a coward, I guess. I don't know what she's doing. But my thing is now,
Ugh.
my grandson is damaged goods. He's damaged because I'm going to tell you now. Don't think he's not replaying that moment over in his eyes, too. He didn't know this man. He knew his
Oh,
grandparents and his
yeah.
aunts and his
y-
mother.
Yes.
So now the system allowed me to relinquish my custody of my child to this monster because he had blood flowing through his body the same as his. Well, guess what, boo? That
Oh,
blood flowing through my grandson's body is mine too. So
yes.
what you
All the
gonna do?
same.
I
Oh,
cut that umbilical cord, baby. That is my child.
oh,
So I'll
God.
be on my making my way to Michigan to find my grandson. I'm not letting this die down. Are you kidding me?
Let me ask
My
you
grandson.
now. Are you now? Is the relationship at any point? And I don't want to get because I see this emotional. You know what? Let me just let it think right there because I don't want to get. I see this is getting a little emotional. I don't want to
No, you're fine. It
yeah,
needs to be
interrupt too
talked
much.
about because this is how they do our black babies and our little black boys and girls. They push them through. They don't care. They
Mm,
don't care. If they had a took the time to read all that paperwork that my child and I submitted to that court, he sat in a mediation and told the courts,
mhm.
I don't know the little inner enough to love him.
What?
Now he told you that, and you still
What?
allowed this man to take my two
Is there
year
some kind
old
of
grandson?
appeal or something like that? Like like appeals court or something? I'm sorry. I don't want to.
Honey,
Yeah. Oh,
my
I'm sorry
daughter
to hear. I'm
missed
just sorry
one
to hear
court hearing. She missed one court hearing, and that's
Oh,
what they tried to base it on. Well, she didn't come to
oh,
court, so we could. Well, at that
oh
point
my
in the ball
God.
game, she shouldn't even had to show up. That's my point. Read
Oh,
the file.
so they use that
Read the
oh,
file. Just because he didn't, yeah,
oh,
it's a lot. And I feel that Dylan was one of them cases that they pushed on through. They didn't want to deal with it anymore.
damn, I'm sorry
They
to
didn't
hear
want to deal with it and didn't take the time to look into it.
that's I'm sorry. I'm really sorry to hear that. Oh boy. This
Yeah, so it's a lot. That
yeah,
system is. That's why I made that comment and said, well, if the dad is garbage, then what?
you're
Because
you're
you
right.
really don't have a choice. Because, like I said, grandparents don't have rights. They would rather put
Mhm.
that child in foster care than to give
Yeah.
him to his grandparents. Are you kidding me?
Oh, that's
That's the part
crazy.
I don't like.
Especially if it's a little baby.
Yeah, go ahead,
Right.
Eleanor.
Then
Go ahead.
they can turn around and like literally sell the kid child protected. I mean, that's what they do in the
Yes.
protective. It's disgusting. Child
Yep.
protective service is not protecting children. I mean, I know that's
It
what
isn't.
it isn't. It's
It's
tearing
not.
apart families.
It's not.
It's
It
Yeah.
doesn't protect them at all, especially not our babies.
yeah.
Mm. Oh my gosh. Wow. This shit just got real.
It's
Cause I
really sad.
was oh man, that's oh wow. I'm sorry to hear that. This
So
got real
now
like, Go
you've
ahead, go
got
ahead.
that little black boy being raised by a monster who hates women. He hated his own mother. So
Mm.
how can he teach my grandson to love women, be respectful to women, don't abuse women? So how what do you think he's teaching Dylan right now? I bet you my grandson's so angry. He turned 5 years old in November. So first of all, he's probably angry about the situation due to the fact that he hasn't seen his mother or anybody familiar to him in what, 3 years now it'll be.
Mm.
Oh god.
So,
Mm.
he's wondering that too. I know that baby's wondering where his mother is, where
Mm-hmm.
his
That,
grandmother and his papa and his aunties are. I know he is. I feel it. I feel it in my soul. So
now
all I can
now is the
do
court
is keep. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I know this is emotional. That's why I don't kind of, I wanna switch speeds right after this. But basically, I really it really be good if you could at least if the daughter and the father of the child could at least work it out to where you guys could at least do like a little video, like the little
Right. He
video
doesn't,
thingy. You know what I mean?
honey, he done
Hmm.
changed the phone numbers. He's done everything. Like I
Oh
told
my
the courts, I
god,
said, so basically, you're
that's a
allowing
kidnap.
him
Hmm.
to do what you didn't allow my daughter to do. So he done took my grandson. But see, what happens
Oh
is
my
once
gosh.
the courts and all this stuff, so they gave him custody. See, my daughter had custody at first,
Okay.
but they took it from her, the nonviolent criminal and all that. And, because he was up there raising Cain. So he was up there raising all the hell in the courts because, he hates
Mm-hmm.
the court system there anyway because they're the
Mm-hmm.
ones who sent him to prison. So
Oh my.
he's got a vendetta against them. So he's going to be that thorn in their side. And then you got the police officers. Now, I even fought the cops because the cops even called me and told me to
Mhm,
tell my daughter that he had come into the police station wanting to file these paperworks or something saying that she had
mhm,
kidnapped the baby and all this. How about the
mhm.
officer said, he's a monster. I'm not going to give him any type of custody. And you run, talking to my daughter, you run as far as you can and don't look back.
Oh my
Now,
god.
that's what the police officers told her. Now, I'm like, come on, you know that he's a monster. They
Imma leave
know
that
it.
at
See,
that.
that's what I'm
I
saying.
I'm a
They
I'm a
know
I'm a
that.
thing. I don't wanna cut you. I wanna leave it Imma leave that because that's oh, man, that's not a, yeah, that's definitely not a happy Sunday story. That's kinda, it's a little personal. Thank you for
Yes.
sharing that. But, yeah, in those particular instances, hell fucking no. Hell fucking
Right.
no. You know what I'm saying? But I'm
So,
gonna do what I'm
yeah,
gonna do
like
right
I
now,
said,
right?
if you have
Mhm.
that option, it's a blessing. But
if
if you
you
don't have that option, yeah,
only under
you
the right circumstances. And it's important. You
yep,
gotta make those fucking court dates. Show your ass up for them
yep.
court dates. Do not
And
miss it. That could be the
I told my
difference.
daughter.
Especially
That's
with
right.
these
I told
child
my
protective
daughter. I
services,
said,
man. They do everything to like make you screw up.
Yeah, do not miss
Everything.
those
yes,
court
They,
dates.
they
That
make
shit
those
can
hoops
change
impossible to
your
come.
life. Facts,
yep.
facts. So so
Yep. And
so
I told my daughter she's
mhm.
responsible for this shit too now,
But
because she's grown now. She's 28.
well
Now, in the
she
beginning, I could help you,
yeah.
because you were young and stupid and you needed that baby like you needed a hole in your head. That's another
But
story.
but
But
now
anyway, he's
nope.
here.
Perfect segue.
Yep.
Perfect segue.
Yep.
Now I'm gonna get into the segue now, right? And these are the kind of like I say, thanks you guys for joining me. These are the kind of I'm gonna lay out a quick checklist for the ladies out there that are listening to whether it's yourself or your daughters or your granddaughters. These are the kind of guys that you should tell them they should not take seriously and not be with and not be interested in and definitely not to have children with because it's not
And
gonna be a
to know
good
the
thing.
signs to look for.
And
Because,
listen, and that's
yeah.
what you about to get right now. So here we go. We're gonna lay into this, y'all. All right. Sit back, get comfortable. We got another half hour to go. We're just gonna roll. This is the mythological character Dust Daddy, right? So he's down with the Invisible Dad team. He's an invisible dad. And these are the things that you need to, as a young lady, look out for. And you should not be having children with these kind of guys. And I'm gonna lay out the thumbnails and follow up with why. Number one, if he doesn't celebrate holidays, right? Now I know a bunch of guys that had children, and all of a sudden they switch their religion. Now all of a sudden they don't celebrate holidays, right? you heard that before, right? Yo, that's the white man's holidays, right? You heard that, right? So that's that. So right. So ask them a question next time you hear that. Ask them a question. What about Black History Month? Can I get all the gifts that you didn't get for the birthday, the Christmas, and all the man's holidays? Just spread that shit out through Black History Month, right? So if we don't celebrate holidays, nah, that's not a good look. Number two, this is important. If he already has two other baby mamas, right?
Right.
So if he got two other baby mamas already and you meet him, right? That's not who you want to become romantically involved with, right? Because what?
Yeah.
You're going to become number three, right? Especially if you see that he don't spend time with the two kids he already got. He's spending all his time chasing your skirt, but yet this
Uh-huh.
nigga got kids already from two different baby mamas. So what happens is you become baby mama number three, and he's not gonna pay no attention to that kid, and he's gonna be chasing the next skirt. Okay,
Uh-huh.
all right. So I'm giving y'all game right here. So now we have three. If he's a struggle hustler, now struggle hustler, right? That's like a young boy term. I'm gonna give you some of that young boy shit right here. The struggle hustler. The struggle hustler. You got different levels of hustlers. You got drug dealer, right? You got hustler, right? And you got struggle hustler. Struggle hustler is a nigga that's 40 years old. He's still selling nickel bags, right?
Uh-huh.
he's selling he's selling nickel bags. And he think he gonna end up like Jay-Z one day, right? That's the nigga you don't want to do that. When the customers that are coming to buy the nickel bags from him have more money than him, and they make him look like he's the customer, that's the nigga that you don't want. You don't want to rock with him. I mean, that drug dealer shit only looks good on rap videos. Stay away from the drug dealer, nigga. All right.
All right.
Yeah. Now, third. Now, this is getting important now. if he's aspiring to be a rapper, okay?
Oh God.
Because listen, everybody has dreams to follow, right? But if he thinks, and that's gonna segue into the next one, right? Because that's like going pro in the NFL or the NBA. You know, it's cute, it's a dream, but you have to do other things. You still got to educate yourself along the way, just in case if you don't become the rapper or the basketball player or the entertainer or the artist, you're still educated and you can function and branch off into other things, educate yourself and get a job, right? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's
Makes
it. That's
sense.
that's the next segue. Now, if he didn't at least finish high school or GED,
Uh-oh.
means that he's possibly down the line, right, gonna have problems obtaining legitimate employment sufficient enough to support you and the child, right? That makes sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah.
if he if because right now it's cool, you know, he may be Dust Daddy Jr. He may be the son of the infamous Dust Daddy. So Dust Daddy selling nickel bags, and he gives his son nickel bags to sell. So Dust Daddy 40, right? And he's selling dime bags. His son is Dust
Uh,
Daddy Jr. So he's half his age. So he's 20. And he's giving Dust Daddy nickel bags to sell. Don't have your daughter that's 20 fuck with Dust Daddy's son that's 20 because he's on the path to become Dust Daddy. That's as far as his vision is gonna see, right?
uh,
So you don't want to fuck with that. That's not a good look, right? So if he hasn't finished high school at least, that means down the line when nickel bags, right? Because Eleanor Marie, you still with us?
Yeah.
Nickel bags and shit like that. That's still like in certain states, recreational marijuana is not legal, right?
Right.
So
right.
in certain states, there are still grown men that are selling small amounts of marijuana to make ends meet, right? So that's what we call the struggle hustler, right? The poor man's weed man, right? So that's the big up to the poor man's weed man, right? So you don't want your daughter fucking with him. Just if your daughter smokes, just get the weed from him. Don't get the dick from him. All right, get the weed, not the dick. Get the weed and get the fuck out of here. Of course, he's gonna try to fuck for 2 nickel bags, but cancel that shit. You heard? All right. You know what I'm saying? When he be like, "Yo, ma, I can give you a discount. Just come upstairs in the house." Tell her don't do it. You know what I'm saying? Be like, "Nah, nigga, take the money. Let me get the fuck up out of here." All right. So you want to stay away from him, right? Another thing, right? If he say that he does not like to use condoms,
Mm-hmm.
yo, ma, you know that don't feel good. You know what I'm saying? That's not. I know. I don't know. That don't feel good. Don't worry. Don't worry. You know. Yeah. I know as women, y'all all heard that before. Don't worry. Let me just this. Yeah. You know, like nah, I got this. I got this. You know what I'm saying? They can get the stroking. Them last 2 strokes, forget about it. You be in trouble after that. You know what I'm saying? Because he gonna. It's like that coffee. It's good to the last drop. So he gonna keep stroking, even though he feel that tingle in his genitalia.
Oh, cool.
You know what I'm saying? He want to get the last 2 pumps in, and that's what's gonna fuck everything up if you're not on birth control. So it's important to have the younger daughters, you know, on birth control. You got to have these conversations
Yeah,
and really go
that's
with,
thing right there.
you know, you got to have these
Gotta
conversations.
have the conversations with them. These kids can't just keep expecting them to not have sex.
You can't.
You
Until
can't. You just can't. And women need to
21,
carry condoms just as much as the guys do. Like you can't not have those conversations. Like
you can't not do it.
yeah,
I know guys that whose daughter went off to college in their first semester and came back with a baby.
yeah.
Came back pregnant before fucking midterm. The first house party, the first night out.
Yeah.
First night out of the town, first party. You know what I'm saying? So
Another
like somebody fucked up right there.
Yeah.
You don't send the daughter away without fucking birth control. Can't do it because it's party time after that, right? Does
Right.
that make sense?
Yeah.
Fucking party time. It's a free for all after that. No supervision.
And yeah, and
You know what I'm saying?
that they're just because you tell them, not to do it, if anytime you tell somebody not to do something, kids are going to be like, yeah, let's go do it.
Don't say not, but you're right. But don't say don't do it.
Right.
Don't say don't do it, but just say protect yourself when you do it because it's going to get done whether you like it or not. Right?
We have the talking, but I put a box of condoms in the hall closet and I said, if you do, just take one, okay? Just make sure you're using protection for yourself, for them. Just make sure. I'm not going to look at it. I'm not going to count them. All I want to do is if it's ever, empty, tell me and I'll put a new one in there. Just use protection.
Facts.
Because I know, young boys don't want to go in a place and fight.
Yeah, they're a little nervous.
Adult boys don't want to go in.
Let me tell you something, and that's crazy right now. Like shit, you better be proud to let them know you slinging some ding-a-ling out here. God damn it! Give me 10 boxes of condoms. For all them young boys out there that's scared to go buy a box of rubbers, you say that shit loud when you pull up to the cash register. They be like, "Damn, that shit sexy to them." You can front if you want. Don't be ashamed. Let them know you got experience. Let them know you throwing. I'm putting that shit down. Who got next?
Right? Yeah.
Fuck that. Don't be shy. You know what I'm saying? But like, it's about exploring the options. Same thing. Like if I had boys, right? I would explain of course,
I'm back.
men, us men out there. Okay. Us men out there, right? We have to explain the importance of safe sex to the boys also. Teach that boy how to use a rubber, right?
Yeah.
Teach that boy how to use a rubber, right? You got to.
Right. Yeah.
Teach that boy how to use a rubber because you don't want him to be jammed up also. Like there's consequences for the girl and there's consequences for the boy.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, young men need to know
Well,
there's different
STDs
kinds
is
of condoms, different
consequences for both
sizes,
of them.
different, all of it. Like, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's not just pregnancy; it's those STDs too.
Right.
It's everything involved. It's the whole game. It's the whole game.
Yep.
And then they just start and they don't know what the fuck they're doing. If that's the
Right.
case, when you just getting in the game and you just jumping in the game, yeah, you're like, okay, all right, push harder, all right. So I'm just saying, right? So you know what I'm saying? So
I would not participate in this day and age.
But like with the phone, like you have a lot of adult things that are at the fingertips of the children nowadays. So that's you know what I mean? So that's kind of important too. So like it's getting what time we have? Yeah, we on overtime, but I love it. This was a good show. Like we really, you know what I mean? I want to thank before I even what's the name? Let me do this right, damn it. Eleanor Marie, you have anything else to say before we kind of wrap this up? And I just play one last clip and I'll take you out with that.
I say, yo, Tony D. No, nothing.
Oh shit, Tony D. Wait, hold up. Wait up there a minute now. Hold up. Stop the presses.
The late arrival.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the chat room, we got Tony D. See, what up? You want to come up? You want to come up for a few minutes? Let me know in the chat room if you want to come up for a few minutes. If you want a piece of this, we rolling right now. We having a good time. I was about to wrap it, but let me know. You got a minute? Well, it's on you. So what you gonna do? Sent the invite, and Tony D's pulling up, y'all. So hang out for another minute, Eleanor. You still here? Did she go yet? You still here? All right, hang out for a few more minutes. Let's Tony D up, y'all. Let's get Tony D in the building. Don't worry about the video. We straight radio today.
Yo,
we got Tony D.
I apologize. I'm just waking up.
Don't worry.
I'm stupid super late.
Don't worry. You just you right in time before we close the truck up.
Okay, I got wrap it up quick. What's
show.
up, Eleanor? What's up, Dr. Gillespie?
Hey,
What's up, Tony?
happy Sunday.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What we got going on, man? What you got?
Tony D in the house. I'm gonna walk you through this real quick, right? Before you pull out, we're gonna do a quick recap.
Sure.
We've been on for a minute. This was today's episode was out today's bag was memoirs of the invisible dad, right? So this was basically you heard me talk about the quote unquote anti-dad before, right? Throughout
Yes.
casual conversation, you heard me talk about the anti-dad, right? So we watched a video clip of a guy that went as far as to he was claimed technically dead in a car accident, right? And he was actually resuscitated when he got to the hospital. So he was brought back to life, but he was pronounced dead on the scene. But he actually came back to life, and he used that to his advantage to avoid child support. But at that, he was only ordered to pay $100 per month. So that's how outrageous that was. Like he went to I'm talking $25 a week. Basically,
Oh,
he went
wow.
to the extent of riding that out. So that's the first clip that I played earlier on, and that was courtesy of Fox 6 News, right? To the extent, and then to even make it worse, he was an aspiring rap artist, right? And he had to use the word the nerve to incorporate that shit in a mixtape, in a
Oh, my
song,
God.
in a record.
Wow.
Wow.
I swear, yeah, I shit you not. I shit you not. Yeah, you're gonna have to go back and check it. Yeah, yeah, I shit you not. Right, right. So that's the extent, and we talking about so he turned the shit into a gimmick. So he flipped it and turned it into a gimmick, right? But we talking about to obey child support. So we're talking about the invisible dads, the non-responsible dads.
Right.
You wouldn't know about that. You wouldn't know about that because I know how you roll. But like I was explaining earlier in the monologue that I know a lot of guys, because we're not, young boys. We've encountered different men throughout our work experiences, possibly through the service, XYZ. We've come across many men in our time. No homo. Right?
Right.
So,
Right. Facts.
right.
Facts.
And you know some of their stories, right? You know some of their stories just by casually hanging out with them, whether it be in a bar, having a drink after work, something, then some of the stories come out, right? How many bad dads just on do you think you come across just on a like just gives an estimate like somebody, and we're not here to pass judgment, but
At
I
all.
but I
At all.
understand your values and your morals, right? So
At all.
say this, I'm not saying what a quote unquote bad dad, I'll say fathers that did not meet up to your perceived standards of what you do as a father, put it like that. How many
Let me change how you ask that by how I answer it. I want to
please,
talk about the dudes.
the positives, because that's coming next week.
No, the dudes
Oh,
who
okay.
refuse to be there for their kids.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah,
That
that's it. Yeah,
goes
yeah, that's it.
that
Yeah, yeah,
goes
yeah.
against man law flat out.
That's what I'm talking about. Go
I
ahead.
don't
Go in.
care what you got. I don't care how you roll. If
Hmm.
you don't take care of your kids, you can't be seen as a man.
Facts.
Let me just put it
Period.
right there. There is no judgment.
Period.
There is
Hmm.
no judgment against a man who's struggling to do for his kids. There is
Nope.
no judgment to
Mm-mm.
a man who was unable to do for his kids. We're gonna talk
Facts.
about the jokers who just won't.
Facts. That's what we're
Yeah.
being on today.
Them the
That's what we're being
ones.
on.
Them the
Hmm. Hmm.
ones. Them the ones most of us got beef with. You got beef with the mom. Okay, cool. Still be there for the kids. When the kids call, do that shit. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I know what time of day it is. My apologies, anybody offended, but let me tell you something.
Go for it,
If you
damn it.
got yourself together,
Hmm.
you got yourself together, and the kids need you, you go do that shit. The streets can wait. Your side chick can wait. Whoever you with got a problem, you might want to reevaluate what you got going on, because if she got to go with her kids, or in today's society, if your significant other has something to do with their kids, don't
Hmm.
stop it.
Facts.
Because we got to say that for the same sex people as well.
Hmm.
If
Hmm.
you got children previously, you got to handle that regardless. People
Hmm.
out
Yep.
here don't want to deal with folks who got kids because they feel like it's too much of a burden, or you can't do nothing for me. And I'm sick of y'all. All y'all out here talking about, since you got this going on, you got that going on. It's gonna be either them or me. You know what? The hell with y'all for real. Y'all are
Can
reason
I
people out here acting up. I'm gonna let you
can
get in.
I
I'm
say
sorry.
You got
something?
next. You got next, Free. You
You
got
got
next. Go
next.
ahead. Finish up, Tony. You got next. I
I
got
want to
you.
wrap this up in like 2.5 minutes.
Go
All
ahead.
right.
Go ahead.
I'm
Go
trying
ahead.
to
Roll
keep
it out,
it going.
Tony. Go ahead.
And
Roll it out. You got next, Free.
I
Go
will
ahead.
not pass judgment on no dude who can't because he's broke. I will not pass judgment on no dude who can't because he's out of state. I won't pass judgment on no dude who can't because he's got greatest. When they get put in the hole for child support, and you in a negative, we can't judge those dudes no more. We can't judge those women either no more.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna talk about the dudes riding around balling, showing off, who
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
just gonna be like, I ain't got time right now for this, or I ain't got time right now for that. Let me tell you something. If you can't make one weekend a month, or 1 week, if you can't make the weekends for your kids, damn spring break, damn Freaknik, damn Black College Weekend, damn Greek Week, damn the conventions, all that. You better make time for your kids. 100, 1,000, all that. I'm gonna go ahead and throw myself out there. I'm sorry, Freed. I'm coming. I'm trying to. I'm trying to.
No. You're good. You're
Unpack.
good.
Take your time and
Yeah,
unpack. Roll, brother.
I'm
You just
trying to
pulled up. Take your
specify
time. Go
myself.
for it. Roll up. Roll up. Take your time.
I was
You
in the
smoking right
National
now.
Guard. I
Mm-hmm.
did some active duty time out of state from where my oldest son was. I would drive once a month, 3.5 hours for the weekend to see him. When I was 12 hours away, I tried to do it every other month at one point. I
Mm-hmm.
couldn't due to the distance in the job. So I changed the job to be closer. I was doing all this while I was still paying child support. When I was on child support and I got closer and everything slowed down, I got myself together, I would still see him once a month. And on top of child support, I would still get my own hotel room, pay my own gas, pick him up and still go out and spend money. So child support was one aspect, but what I was doing was another. And I told the courts myself, I don't need to be on child support because I'm going to be there. They don't want to hear that shit. But see, over the time, I had to prove it. When you get yourself together, it don't matter what your debt is. You build up and you go as hard as you can. I've been that dude that couldn't afford it. I know what it's like when the lights get about to get cut off, the cable get cut off, your house phone get cut off, your cell phone get cut off. You can barely keep a full tank of gas. You ain't got no food. I done been there. Get your
Shit is
ass
real.
off that hole.
Struggle is
Y'all the
real.
dudes I'm not talking about. If you broke, I understand. If you're hustling to make money, I understand. That's why I ain't got a problem with drug dealers. Some of y'all gotta make that money to be there for your kids. That's the original rule.
Stand on a corner.
I'm sorry. That came out. That came out.
Listen.
That came out.
We keeping it a
I'm gonna go
band
ahead.
over here. That's what we do.
It's gonna be Sunday smoke instead of Sunday night smoke.
This
Because all
Sunday
you
noon.
hustlers
It's
out
Sunday
there
noon. Keep flowing. We
breaking every
smoking.
rule to make money to do right for your kids, we won't prosecute you and have us probably keep your bail money so you can keep doing what you're doing for your kids.
Now, but also, you know what I want to throw behind it? But don't involve your kids in the fuckery.
Yeah.
Do what you got to do, right?
Yeah, I
If
need
you
you to
got to
make
do, if
that
you're gonna
clear.
take those penitentiary chances, you can take that. But don't. He ain't gonna be a junior.
Reevaluate your point. We don't need to put the kids in the
You ain't gonna have a baby Nino or Brown up behind your punk ass either, nigga. So let's keep that shit a band.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Do what you gotta do, but everybody wants to put their
Hello.
children in a better position.
You're
Right?
right. You're right.
Because
Let me tell.
what sense
Let me
does it
tell.
make if
My
y'all both
stepdaughter
get
just
locked up?
walked in. Yeah, my stepdaughter just walked in. Let me
Thank
tell.
you, Tony
I
D,
will
for
take her
showing up,
regardless.
brother.
Appreciate it. Feed, I'm sorry for holding you up. My bad, honestly. Y'all run with
Nah.
that. I'm
Oh
gonna take it back later.
you're good.
Tony D, y'all. Thanks for pulling up, brother.
Appreciate y'all, man.
My man. Tony D pulling up. That's my man. All right, Free. Free, you still with me? You still with me, Eleanor Marie? Y'all still in the building? Tony D coming with that strong dose of smoke. Like shit is on fire over there. But what we gonna do? Let's see. It's about yeah, I'm a what's the name it? Any final thoughts, Frida? Talk to me. Any final thoughts, concerns? Where can we find
I was
you
just
on
gonna go
social
off of
media? Talk to me.
what Tony had said.
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Loud and clear. Go
What
ahead. Go ahead. You
Tony said
clear. Loud and clear. Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
when he was saying that um he didn't like when people were saying, no, I don't date because this and that and the other, or you got kids, or I can't, like pre-stereotyping.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like that too. I I didn't like to date guys with kids, but I had my reason, and that reason was because their exes were not on the level that I was on,
The ex-baby
meaning
mamas.
keep him from his kids or anything. Because I know what it takes. So a man from his child or anything like that. That was the only reason I date guys. Yeah, they bring
Your audio is breaking up, Frida. Frida, can you hear me? Hang on 1 second, Free. Your audio is
is
breaking
it?
up a little
Can
bit. Yeah, maybe you have to come closer or come closer to your router. If you're Are you on cell phone?
Yep.
Okay, let me see. Come closer to the strongest strength signal locator in your area. You know what I mean? Where you get the best reception because you started to break up a little bit. I don't know if you were moving around or not.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, so that's all I was
Much
saying
better.
as far as
Mhm.
like dating the guys with the kids and stuff like that.
Mhm.
That
Mhm.
was my only thing. Just because the baby mamas usually, about that drama. So, but
Baby
yeah.
mama drama. They will pull up on you.
Mhm.
They got the protected territory.
Yeah.
All right. Listen. Frida in the building. Now let me Frida Gillespie. Now, where can we do you have social media? Is there any way we can look you up?
I'm
Uh
on I'm on Haps, of course. And and
just like
I've
we all. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right, and I do the Facebook thing, which is just, Frida Gillespie. And then I have
Okay.
an IG page, but I never use it. I don't really know even why I set it up, but I do, follow like Shannon and, you
Okay.
guys. And
So you
then
use it. Okay. Mm-hmm.
and I have YouTube also, which is the same, just Frida Gillespie or whatever. And then I watch it, I was watching, that's where we started out, of course, with the Black Watch.
Mm-hmm.
But now, everything's on Haps, so I haven't really been in that space either. So
Okay. Well, welcome aboard. Come and hang out. We always have a good time up over here.
I see.
Thanks for coming and joining us. Frida Gillespie, y'all. Let's have a round of applause. Thank you. We're gonna catch you next time, Alfreda. Thank you.
Okay, sorry I was late, but
No problem. Better late than never.
bingo.
Alright. Now we're gonna come back to Eleanor. Eleanor, you got any final thoughts for us? Any final thoughts, concerns, comments?
I
Any
just
smoke for them invisible dad ass motherfuckers?
those invisible guys that do try to like come around and might, even if it's a few years later,
Mhm.
chicks don't like punish them when they slip and they do something wrong when they're trying, like,
Yes.
because that will make them not want to try.
Mm.
Don't hold the
Ooh.
grudges. Don't start the drama. Like,
Yes.
and do it if you can't do it for you, do it for your kid. Just don't. Just, I mean, I'm sorry, like, but the chicks have to start stepping up too. I've seen too many women like just treat the dudes like hell when they try, even if it's been a few years and they weren't around those first few years.
Mhm.
If they say, "Hey, I want to try. Can I
Mhm.
try to be a better dad? Can I try?" Because you don't know what they might be doing. Maybe something happened in their life and they're like, "Wait, I want my kids around. I want my
Mhm.
kids around." Like,
Mhm.
let them try. Don't yeah, don't get on them so much. Like, the more
Yeah.
that you can be supportive of them trying, the more they're going to try.
Now listen, elementary at the same time, right? And that makes perfect sense what you're saying because like a lot of women, what you women don't realize is that the women mature faster than men, right? So if you have a child in your early 20s by or in your teenage years by a boy because he's technically a boy, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You got to realize he's not mature yet. A lot of times he's not ready for that position. Well, let me rephrase that. A lot of times he's not ready for fatherhood.
Right.
So it may take time for them to grow into the part. You know what I mean? But if he's not available mentally or physically or whatever, and then he actually matures as a man, it would probably be a good idea just to give him a chance with the child for the child's sake. And of course, you probably wouldn't have any romantic interest in that. But if you could just for the sake of the child, because remember, in the event that one of the parents is lost, um the other parent could file for custody and could very well be granted custody. So
Right.
you don't want your child's life to be complicated if you're always saying the other party is bad. And God forbid if you leave early and the child has to be in the custody of the other party. Now the child is like, oh my God, this person's bad. Oh my God, this person's bad. And it's not going to be healthy for the child. So you made a good point. I'm sorry to run into that, but that you made a very good point with that, Eleanor. Um,
Also, even if the guy's not around, that
mhm.
kid's got other grandparents too.
Yes,
Like,
facts,
like
facts.
and if they
His
can't
mother
have
may be all right.
parents,
His
maybe they
parents may
can have
be all
those
right.
grandparents.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
there's a whole nother side. I just think it's important that like if it can be involved, both sides need to somehow be involved. That kid is made up of two people
And a
in
family on both sides.
yeah, and there's family on both sides. Like those
Mm-hmm.
grandparents didn't do anything. I mean, maybe they didn't do the greatest job raising their kid, but like, you know,
Nah, that's real facts.
you know, I don't know. They don't deserve to like lose out on being grandparents either, just because one of
That's
the
true.
people messed up.
Because it's a family, like you say, two
Yeah,
people that make the child, right? But then they have parents, and then their parents have parents,
yeah,
right? And ultimately, it's still a family, whether there's marriage involved or not. It's
exactly.
still a family because you're crossing two bloodlines, two lineages, whatever you would like to refer to it as. And yeah, that's kind of what it is. And that's facts.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So that's no bullshit.
yeah.
So so closing out right now. Thank you for joining us, Eleanor. Um, where can we find you, social media wise?
Here on Haps, and then just on my profiles, linked to everything else.
Okay. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much for coming. Eleanor Marie, thank y'all. Let's get a round of applause for her. Thank you very much. I'll catch you around the circuit probably later on this evening.
Oh, shit.
Thanks again. Happy Sunday. Take care, Eleanor. Thank you.
Sunday.
All right. So that's about gonna do it for this Sunday's episode of Sunday Noon Smoke. We have some nice dialogue today. This is a good show. This was a good show. Memoirs of the Invisible Dad. So you ladies keep the runoff list that I gave y'all so y'all know the invisible dads. You know how to identify them. And you definitely don't want to be identified with them. You know what I'm saying? So on that note, enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Thank you for pulling up. Like, share, subscribe. Shout out to Habs TV, YouTube, Blog Talk Radio, WZGF. We out of here, y'all. Peace. Where there's fire, there will be smoke.